Okay, so I'm just going to kind of walk you through how you might start thinking about how to use a database. Um, Fatal mistake number one that students make is you try to find a question and then go looking for the database. Don't do it that way. Look for the database, explore the database, then ask some questions. Okay? So here's what I'm gonna do, for example. This is our world of data and looking at everybody's favorite topic, COVID, right? So I'm going to look here at, I'm just going to do a comparison, United Kingdom and Thailand. So look here at confirmed cases. There's different intervals here. I'm going to do the 7-day rolling average. That's kind of the the measure that most epidemiologists use. So what this gives me is it gives me everything from the start of the pandemic up to the current area, and it's updated daily. Okay, so you can see an initial outbreak here, another one there, and then another one there. If we take the United Kingdom off, you see Thailand's a bit clearer. This was way back when. This was our 3 weeks in January, and then this is where we're at now. So, if you wanted to compare, say, Cuba, we could do Cuba. Also, there it is up there. Um, so that's some ideas there. Now, I just wanted to compare the United Kingdom and there. So that's what I have. Now, what I can do with that is I can download this, and right now I'm just going to save the chart. Okay. So here's my chart, right? So I can say okay. So I kind of get that. It's just a nice visual. Like I would not use this as your graph because obviously you didn't create it. So, and then I'm going to look at something else. I'm going to look at let's look at hospital patients, for example. Okay, so I'm going to go back to the chart, and I don't have it for Thailand, only have it for the United Kingdom. That's not going to help. I can look at hospital admissions, again, only by the United Kingdom. I can look at ICU patients, I suspect only the United Kingdom. So Thailand's not reporting a lot of useful information here. Um, I could look at confirmed deaths. I'm sure those will be there. There they are. So I might save this chart too as something to compare. Um, so there's that one. And unsurprisingly, the two look very, very similar, right? I mean, except for a few interesting things here is cases are higher in the United Kingdom than they are in Thailand. Again, that's vaccines at work. So, that's something maybe you could dig into in other databases. Um, I might also look at here, we get with the reproduction rate. Okay, so the reproduction rate is basically represents infections. So we could look at this and kind of compare those ideas. So what kind of things could be factoring in that? So if I went to download, I could look here, and that's another data. So right now I'm not I'm kind of asking very vague questions, but nothing specific. Um, so then I look at cases versus the reproduction rate, right? It doesn't seem to be a lot there I can kind of compare, though there seems to be the same peaks when those happen, that sorts of things. Um, I could also, number of variants or the percentage of variance. This is a little bit different in the sense you got to go back to different times to see what the most common variant was. Might be interesting. Um, here's one with Delta variant. All right, so kind of again interesting over time. Might be something interesting there. Um, if I ran across something, see now this just switched back to this, and I don't know why it did that. This is giving me the dates because I clicked on those. So um, I'm gonna go back to that. Just reset the whole thing. And so let's say I wanted to really look at the reproduction rate R with the confirmed cases to see kind of is there a relationship there. So I let this load, and I'll take away these. I'll leave the United Kingdom. I'll do Thailand, and down. Now, I can't use those graphs. I don't necessarily want to use all that data. Maybe I just want to focus on these 2 peaks. So what I can do is I can download all this data into an Excel file, and I can open that up, and let's see, wait for it to open. But what that'll do is that'll download all kind of the raw data. Then I can create my own graphs. I can kind of figure out what I want to do. I can do statistics on it. There's a whole bunch of things I could do there if I wanted to. Okay. Right. So here it all is. Now this is everything. It's a huge database. So I might just pull out the Thailand stuff and this top and compare it that way. Right. So the easiest way would be Thailand. It'll take a minute to find all that because it's such a huge data set. Still looking. Okay, there we go. So then it has all the Thailand data, basically the number of cases. Oops, it's Tanzania now. The number of cases, since the beginning of the pandemic. So you could access that, use that somehow. The other option, again, we're looking at the 7-day average. You could just pull out that data on those different days too. This is the number of cases per million people. So you could just easily pull the data off that also. Okay, so that kind of gives you an idea of how you start to think about a question, formulate a question, but you really need to find the data first. This has a lot of other data that may be useful, more so for kind of geography kind of things, but there's some in there. Smoking. So there's lots of data here. You just kind of need to look in it and to pull something out. Okay. So hopefully that kind of might give you an idea if you're interested in a database lab, kind of what you might start doing with that. Okay.